Hello, my treasures. It's time to make our opponents pay for their broken combos with Tax Paladin. This is a twist on my initial theory craft for day 1 for Paladin, where we're going to be running all the cards that increase or inconvenient our opponent by forcing them to play cards as quickly as possible, so we can hopefully get a Elite Tauren champion to explode on their face. And because I did a bunch of testing between two different variants, I'll leave this version, which is going to be the main one showcased in the video, and another version of the list, which may or may not be in the video, where we're using the tourist package instead of the excavating package. But for the Mulligan guide of the deck, you are basically always going to be looking for Spirit of the Badlands in both variants of the list. Cattle Rustler is also really great if you don't see Spirit. And then you're also going to be looking for Clumsy Steward as a way to force your opponent to discard any high-cost cards they might draw into early on, countering acting the big spell Mage. Then you'll look for any early game minions or draw power cards or even early game removal tools. Now, with all being said, let's look at some games. Okay, time for a game against Paladin. Let's see what they have in store for us right now. Sandcastle also is one of those cards that probably should end up being cut out. I'm not currently running Cattle Rustler, which is actually a pretty good card in this list, especially because of the importance of Spirit of the Badlands, but we'll get to that when we get to it, right? Okay, just going to hear about it. There's no reason not to. Okay, there's a coin. Gorgonzomu. Whack-a-nole. You know, Underlight Angling Rod isn't too bad. You know, this actually does make me realize I really wish we had a fully functional Murloc deck in Standard right now. It's so weird to me that we had a entire set based around a vacation and no Murlocs. And by no Murlocs, we had 3. Had a grand total of 3. Honestly, wait, really curious. I'm really curious if, technically speaking, Whizbangs had more Murlocs than the other. No, it's very close though, 2 to 3. Actually, technically, pure Murlocs, we did have more, I think, in Whizbangs than Perils. Oh no, we didn't. We had grand total of 4 in Perils, if we include the amalgam, which is double what we got in Whizbangs. Showdown's also 3. It's so weird not to have a lot of Murlocs right now. Like, there's such an iconic thing in Warcraft, you'd assume, right? We have a grand total of what, like 10 to 12-ish Murlocs currently in Standard that aren't in the core set, which is amazing, I guess. Also makes it really difficult to revisit the idea as a standalone deck, but it is what it is. One day we will visit that deck. We also probably should have attacked with our hero, but that's fine. Sorry for the random side tangent, but yeah, it's one of those things that is just a little bit annoying. Okay, delicious cheese. We also still haven't done a Gorgonzomu like base deck. I don't think we're going to get to that really quickly because Druid is the class that I was looking at to do it in. And I have a really spicy, fun, gimmicky deck for Monday or Sunday, depending on how I'm actually feeling. If I'm really feeling like it, we might have it Sunday. I have the replays already. I don't know. It has no new cards in it, which is the reason why. And it probably isn't the best deck, but again, it's fun, so we can try it out, right? I don't know. Maybe we'll double back on Druid really quickly. I also kind of want to double back on Paladin as soon as Tsunami or Big Spell Mage gets nerfed, because I really want to do a Sandcastle deck. But to be fair, given the Druid list I have planned, maybe doing 2 location-based decks isn't the best thing in the world back to back. We will see. It depends on how I'm feeling. I won't lie. Locations actually have become some of my favorite, like, keywords and key cards or new mechanics to Hearthstone in a long time. Colossal Minions were cool. So are, I'm trying to think of what I'm thinking of. Oh, Titans. Titans was what I was thinking of. Okay, okay. Yeah, at least it's not pure insanity where it, you know, warlock, but okay, let's slam this down. This gets rid of one. I'm just gonna pass it back. Spider actually is one of those cards that, like, if we cut out the excavating package and Maple put in Cattle Rustler, it might actually not be that bad of a card to include. It definitely has its advantage as just a way to prevent our opponent from doing stuff. But to be fair, like, how many Titans and like other cards are currently in the meta that like the Spider is just going to do a absolute bunch for? Oh, wait, do we have an easy way to access that card this turn? No, we don't. Wait, technically speaking, we do. We can put down Silverwing. We can give ourselves Divine Shield and one attack, and then just go face. Come on. You know how many times I played this card in decks where you just end up having the person rage quit? Please, please don't rage quit against me. You know, Tide Pool actually is a card that could fit in this list. I don't know what we'd cut for it. Oh, wait, actually, more I think about it, like, sure, we get additional copies of it, but we'd also have to trigger it 3 times in an individual turn. Also, seeing the spirit this late in the game kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Right, let's draw 2. That could have definitely been a lot better. Could have also been a lot worse, to be fair. All right, back to their hand it goes. I will say this also, Elite Torn Champion, I know it's probably not the best card in the list, but it is funny. I've been trying to make use of him again for quite a while now, and this felt like one of the better decks to try to use him in. The only other list that I haven't really done is like Curse of Flesh Warlock, where you're using it as a way to win with it, and then maybe using like Sludge or something to, or paint the Pain Warlock support just as like a backup plan. I don't think that's actually pretty good, but you know, it is what it is. Wait, oh, this is pure blood decay. Interesting. Vampiric Blood is actually one of those cards that, like, depending on how you're building your deck, it could be also one of those things that is easily used in combination with like Tide Pool. I really actually kind of do want to revisit that deck, maybe, if possible. Ah, yes. Give me the Dorian. Mons of the good. Clumsy Steward. Oh, we don't have any space in our hand. That is kind of a shame. Okay, let's sum this down. Come on, so good. Well, I mean, it isn't technically bad. Oh, another spirit. Okay, that's probably bait, but like having 2 of them in hand is pretty cool. Also, does remind me, like, if we could somehow find a way to get additional copies of spirit, that would be such a cool, like, idea for a deck where you just have a bunch of cards in hand. But to be fair, you eventually run out of minions in your deck, so maybe that isn't like the best idea, but still, like, infinite of value. I don't think it would be worth running like Brewmaster to bounce it back. I really want to do a Zephyr's deck, and I think Priest is probably going to be the class that we end up doing it in. Hunter is probably also up there because of like the secret support, and then you can infinitely get Ice Block. That was supposed to be technically today's video or next week's video, but I sadly found out that, you know, relying on random RNG is a little bit harder. I think that will be sometime next week, I'd assume, just because it felt decent, right? It definitely isn't the strongest deck, and it definitely does feel like it probably has a decent matchup against Mage. In theory, the problem that I've been running into is like it doesn't counter the minions, but there might be a way to like force the opponent to play the minions early. I don't know. Idea that I'm going to have to revisit for the nearby future. I haven't done Secret Hunter in a while, so I kind of want to do it. Alright, let's hopefully force them not to do anything here. This is going to be a long game though. Like, that's the other problem with like blood DK, the pure blood DK list, is you are going to end up running with a lot of decks that are, I would pay Blizzard so much if they just made like a new like payoff for blood DK. I love that deck so much. It is honestly probably one of my favorite DK lists that you could probably try out. It does kind of live on currently in standard, but like it's nowhere near where it was when it first came out. I just adored the idea. The thing that I always wanted to get was get like 100 plus HP in a single game. I know it's probably never going to happen, but it would have been hilarious if we were able to do it. But there are ways, actually, kind of technically in standard to get 100 HP. But someone's going to probably rage quit before you get to it. Because what? Start at 30, 2 Vampiric Bloods is 50, 2 Tide Pools is 70, and then you'd have to find a way to get another 30, which is like the Primus hitting a huge minion, and then maybe like Fizzle hitting like 2 Tide Pools or 2 Vampiric Bloods. In theory, you could do it. You could do it. I don't think it's a good idea, but you could in theory do it. I don't know actually what you would pay or print as a payoff for that deck either. I don't know. It just I really wish they would go back to using triple rune cards. I know they introduced the system. This is just a thing from a WoW fan. The fact that the rune system in WoW was extremely flawed and they decided to bring it into Hearthstone is hilarious to me, because everyone knew that concept was flawed from WoW. Like there wasn't really, I don't know. It's one of those things that's just like, we knew it was flawed and you decided to bring it into Hearthstone. Because what, here's a little sneak preview of what will probably happen in Hearthstone eventually. They will probably introduce a 4th type of rune called Death Runes. Those Death Runes will then be like a Joker card for the rune system, and then those Joker cards for the rune system will end up replacing the rune system, and then they just remove the rune system completely. That's how it currently is in WoW. There's only one type of rune. Apologies for the side tangent again. I don't know. DK's one of my favorite classes in WoW, one of my favorite classes in Hearthstone. I love the hell out of the deck, or the class. There's usually always something fun and gimmicky. And this is also another hint for the future. The only thing keeping me from playing DK right now is I know for a fact, at time of recording of this, Cubicle is bugged with Ziliax. As soon as that gets fixed, we will try to do a infinite Unkillax list. That's the next goal. We're doing another one of those. I know I literally just did one of them, but Cubicle, I can't ignore that card for too long, right? Hey, they didn't leave. Let's go. Because that's the game that I'm talking about is like a stupidly good game. The reason why it's a stupidly good game is Elite Tauren Champion. Most people will just give up when they're going to have the pick go off. But they actually allowed the pick to go off, which is why I ended up like settling on this for tonight's stream. Yeah, that's the other thing. Okay. I also thought about like trying to run some of the... So there's an angle that we could make as an argument to try to run the Highlander package. Not Highlander, tourist package for Paladin. The problem that I was running into there is like there's not enough space. Trying to combine 2 deck ideas is probably as much as we can get away with. I always thought this activated twice for some weird reason. Oh, I also tried out Secret Hunter, which was great until I realized it was the minions. That was actually what today's stream was almost originally, was Secret Hunter, because I was like, oh yeah, you could just run Ice Trap, and then as long as you run Ice Trap, your opponent can't do anything about I can't do anything about it, right? Turns out, yeah, Big Spell Mage has ways to cheat out big spells that doesn't require them to cast them. So that's how that went. I still actually almost probably have enough footage to make that a video too. And I think that will be an idea that I go back to, but we'll definitely see. Because theoretically, Secret Hunter is a good idea. And that was what I was like looking at for the Zephyr's shenanigans. I'm going to sand this down. Then we're going to attack into this. Assuming that is going to be ice block. Oh, could be just bait and switch. Alright, well. We have excavated twice, so that's good. Oh, you know what? I'm really kind of sad that we didn't see in the mini set. I'm kind of sad that we didn't see any new drink spell. That was a mechanic that I would have assumed we would have probably seen in the mini set, and we just didn't see anything. Yeah, that's the other problem, is not a lot of new cards. That's the entire reason why I'm like, man, I really, really want to... I'm going to not play around what I was going to play around. Actually, yes, we will. Oh. I get why they didn't, but at the same time, like, it would have been cool. I don't know what class you would have given it to. Hunter. You'd give it to Hunter. Because they already technically have, like, a pseudo-drink card, right? Okay. You know, in hindsight, I should have looked for Freezing Trap first, but I had a sneaking suspicion that was going to be that. But yeah, like Hunter, like they're trying to push Banana. You could be like, here's a 2-cost or a 1-cost spell that casts 2 1/1 bananas on like a friendly minion. That legitimately would be what I would give Hunter if I was gonna give them a drink. Like it's simple. They're pushing that idea. You might as well go full on. Right, and then it's just a better bunches of banana. And then I would have also given them a legendary that did something with bananas. I saw a really cool like banana idea with like coin synergy on like Twitter. This isn't a... Okay, I was like, these technically aren't pirates. I guess we choose this. That. This gets rid of that. This gets rid of that. I know we should probably be just going face, but... But yeah, like this deck doesn't feel bad. It's just, I don't know. There needs to be something done with Mage. I think the things that would fix it are increase the costs on like... actually, the thing that would definitely fix it is we revert the buff to Convincing Conman and She Shell. The only reason why I wouldn't want to... Please don't do stuff. The only reason I wouldn't want to do it is then you lose out on... You lose out on like Earthen Paladin and a bunch of like fun little Earthen or like Paladin decks. But I think Paladin is going to have to bite the bullet when it comes to stuff like that, sadly. The biggest thing they could do, which would be absolutely insane, is swap the Mage Tourist to be some other class. Because sure, the reason why that card is doing well is... Yeah. There's just a lot of reasons why I'm like, man, I wish they would change it. Also, we just won, right? We do this, get rid of the board. And I don't know if they've fixed... What is the card I'm trying to think of? I don't know if they fixed the Ziliax interaction with Cube, which is the other reason why I didn't do that tonight. Like, that was the other class that I was thinking about doing, but I know that's bugged, and I have no proof that it isn't bugged right now. Also, this would be a perfect second game for the video, so we're like actually in a good position. I will actually probably be able to get a video out tomorrow. I was about to make an announcement being like, hey, we're changing it till Saturday. This is an opener. That's actually not bad. Okay. Oh, you know what actually would be a good card that we just haven't found space for would be Tide Pool, probably. Oh, actually, Tide Pool would be hard to trigger 3 times on a single turn if you got it off of anything else. I really kind of... Screw it. We're just going to slam this down. I mean, not really the hit that I would have preferred to hit, but sure, I guess. We'll get rid of the draw power for a turn. And good here. Okay, we're gonna play by the same strategy as we did last time, where we're gonna pretend these minions don't exist and we just go face. Yeah. Okay. Was this the answer? Was this legitimately the answer? Just run the Highlander pack or the tourist package and then say screw it to everything else? As long as they don't generate probably exactly that. We're at 6 mana. So wait for... Yes, this is what we slam down. Well, actually, we'll use this first. Oh, I'm so stupid. I get that basically kills both of those, which is fine. I'm just dumb. I guess that's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. Just high roll quicker than they can high roll. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So I played around 20 games with both versions of the list combined, this being the excavating version and the tourist version. The tourist version, I played around 6 games. However, I did face Mage a few times, and it did feel like it had a better matchup. However, I had much better replays with the other version, which is why it's the main one showcased in this video, and why I'll be including both of them down below. Overall, though, I will say this is one of those decks that kind of shocked me of how consistent it felt. Turns out having a way to get additional copies of your cards that will increase the cost of your opponent's cards is actually quite potent, though there is a little bit anti-synergy just because you have so many high cost cards in this list. Overall though, if you're looking for something that maybe can counter out Mage, this is probably one of the better lists for you, even though I do think that deck is completely broken and there's not much else to say about it. But like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye.